Alright class, we're going to go ahead and get started. First things first, we've got our agenda up here for the day. We've got a few things we're going to do. We're going to talk about what is your community, like what groups are you a part of, and then we're going to break up into little stations. So we're going to have 3 different stations across the room, alright? So our first station here is going to be called Energy and Ecosystem Review. We're going to do station 1 on this side of the room. You're going to have a little Quizlet game to play. And it's just going to be some review of previous material that we've gone over, kind of reminding you of what maybe the important things are going to be that you're going to need to know for this lesson, right? And then our second station, station number 2, is going to be right here in the middle. And in that station, you're going to be working in groups, talking together. It is called Evidence Invasive Species. You guys have some articles and a few videos that you're going to look at. And you're going to work together to collect some evidence in a Google form. So it's got all the instructions you need to know, so you don't need to stress about it. I walk you through everything as you go. Thirdly, you're going to have what's called coral reefs. There's a worksheet that's going to be in station 3 over here. You're going to do that on your own. Take some time to look at this little gizmo activity. It kind of looks like this, like the picture I have up here in the corner. And you're going to get to play around. It's kind of fun, exploring an environment. So our standards that we're going to be covering today are listed here. Okay, can anybody tell me what this image reminds you of? Can you remember? Yes.
Is it a food web?
It is a food web. Can somebody tell me what we've been learning about recently?
Is it energy transfer?
Yeah, we were talking about some energy transfer. What's something that you remember from that?
Producers, consumers, decomposers.
Yep, those are the 3 different types, okay. Anything else you remember about that?
The animal relationships.
Yeah, we did talk about animal relationships, some positive, some negative, right? So we talked about competition. What else did we talk about?
Was it mutualism?
Yeah, where they're working together, and maybe some of the animals need to rely on each other for some things, okay? And then we're going to talk about, remind ourselves about like predator-prey relationships. And you'll see here in this standard, it's talking about populations of organisms within an ecosystem. So we're basically going to take that knowledge we learned and apply that in some really cool ways. Lastly, our standard for this unit is you're going to be constructing an argument. Do you guys remember how I mentioned a few times about CERs?
Yes.
Are they scary? They seem a little scary, but I promise you it's not going to be too scary. We're going to start from the beginning and walk you through how to write one. By the time we've learned all of this, it'll be a piece of cake. Sound good?
Yes.
Okay, so first thing I want to talk about today, give you guys a minute here and think about what is your actual community that you're a part of, okay? So how do you fit into your environment? Think of your environment we have here. Now we have like the big picture environment. We live in a desert, right? Okay, so maybe you're thinking about that. But I'm talking about personally with your group of friends, at school, at home. What is your environment? What ecosystem per se would you say you're a part of? And then think about who is in your community. So can anybody maybe look at your neighbor, have a little conversation with them? What do you think is in your community? What is your environment?
It would be my family, right?
Yes, that's right.
And my friends at school. Yes, I think so. And
Yeah. So what ecosystem would you say you're a part of?
Santa Clarita.
Santa Clarita, yeah. Any other parts of the ecosystem you can think of?
My
The big one.
home.
Your home with your family?
Family.
Does anybody have, maybe, do you play a sport?
Oh, basketball.
Okay.
Cool.
So maybe is your team kind of like a little ecosystem you're a part of?
Mhm.
Do you have a position on that team? So you have a role within that ecosystem, okay? So keep those things in mind as we start discussing ecosystems in broader terms and relating that to animals and stuff. But as you guys get started, don't forget we have our 4 fundamental skills in here, which are number 1,
Read the
okay,
instructions.
making sure you're reading the instructions. Number 2,
Follow the
follow
directions.
directions. 3, actively
Active
listen.
listen.
If I'm talking, you need to pay attention because it's important. You don't want to miss out. And lastly, stay
Stay
seated.
seated.
Thank you.
Look at that.